Shalom, shalom, what's going on, family? Hope everybody out there doing good. Hope everybody out there having a nice day. Your boy just cooling on this hot day, you know what I'm saying? Out here on the porch just getting some nature in. Just decided to bring some information to the family. Some pieces to the puzzle, to the family, via the family. So just want to give it back, you know what I'm saying, to give thanks. Before I do that, though, I want to give some honors. I want to give some thanks and honors to the two particular inspirations to this video. The first one is the brother Lex Will. I want to give a thanks to that brother right there. For the information, man. Thank you, man, for the information, for the research. You know what I'm saying, for those pieces, man. Those are key pieces, man. Thank you for bringing that to the forefront, as well as the brother Horace Butler. I want to give thanks to that brother for his extensive amount of research, you know what I'm saying, and the plethora of information, hidden information about the miracles he's brought to the forefront. So I want to give thanks to that brother. Yeah, man. So you want to give thanks and honors to them two brothers, because this particular video here is going to be based around the connection between the ancient American civilization, the West African civilizations, as well as the southern kingdom of Israel. So, without further ado, we'll go ahead and jump into that. You see the King Mansa Musa over there. Yes, sir. Powerful West African king. So, before we do anything, I want to take everybody to a familiar source. From Babylon to Timbuktu, I'm pretty sure y'all familiar with that. We're going to go to the infamous page 84. Yup, and we're going to go here. We're going to start here because we're going to get a understanding of after Israel fell and the Jews fled into Africa. We're gonna dive into this little aspect in time right now. So we're gonna read here. It says, in 70 A.D., General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves. Okay, so we understand here that around 70 AD we have this time period of over 1 million Jews fleeing into Africa. Because we understand from the scripture, Africa was a known place of refuge and a place where the Hebrews would flee frequently, because we see when King Herod was seeking to kill Christ, he was ordered by the Most High to be sent to Egypt. You know what I'm saying? So we were known for running in that area and using that as a place of refuge. Okay, so we want to jump further into the book of from Babylon to Timbuktu. We're gonna get a read out, and I had to pull this from the brother because I don't have the book. So the brother read Alliance Roar read an excerpt. Let's see what it says.
Babylon and Timbuktu book. Says here that the black Jews had an advantage over the African tribes. They carried their culture, history, laws, and written records with them. This is
Alright, check that out. It say the black Jews that we just got through reading about fleeing into Africa. It says they had an advantage over the native African, the indigenous African tribes that were already there. They had an advantage over these tribes because they carried their cultural, history, laws, and written records with them. So everything they did, they wrote it down, and they helped them progress and build powerful kingdoms. Okay, let's keep going.
A constant precedent for the development of a higher social organization. Because of the stability of the black Jewish culture, the Jews were not absorbed into the autochthonous population. In fact, the Jews absorbed some of the native tribes. The Jews made use of every opportunity. They were industrious and skillful people. In the Jewish Ghanaian states were found kings, princes, governors, generals, secretaries, treasurers, revenue agents, judges, architects, engineers, doctors, historians, language interpreters, mathematicians, jewelers, sculptors, masons, carpenters, painters of art, goldsmiths, leather workers, potters, armorers, saddlers, blacksmiths, agriculturalists, etc.
So when these when you understand these West African civilized, these Jews, these people had mathematicians, scientists, jewelers. They was doing it all. You found all that what he just read in these kingdoms, in these civilizations, to just to show you the vast amount of knowledge and talent and ability that these people had. So we're gonna jump over here to this source from globalresearch.ca. It's called Before Columbus, How Africans Brought Civilization to the Americas. So when we read this particular piece of information here, we're gonna start here. It says, contrary to popular belief, African American history did not start with slavery in the New World. An overwhelming body of evidence is emerging which proves that Africans had frequently sailed across the Atlantic to the Americas, thousands of years before Columbus, and indeed before Christ. The great ancient civilizations of Egypt and West Africa traveled to the Americas, contributing immensely to early American civilizations by importing the art of pyramid building, political systems, and religious practice, as well as mathematics, writing, and sophisticated counting. Bam. So they brought all this. You know what I'm saying? There's new evidence and research is finding that these people brought all this. Let's jump down here. It says, in the 1311 AD, so in the 1300s, we have another wave of African exploration to the New World. It was led by King Abu Bakr II. It says the ruler of the 14th century Mali Empire. So in the 1300s, you had this African king who was the ruler of the 14th century Malayan Empire, which was larger than the Holy Roman Empire. The king sent out 200 ships of men and 200 ships of trade material, crops, animals, cloth, and crucially African knowledge of astronomy, religion, and arts. So he had the Malayan king in the 1300s bring all this over here on 200, 400 ships. Okay, let's jump down just a little bit more. It says, when most people think about ancient Mexico, the first civilization that comes to mind are the Incas, Aztecs, and the Maya. However, during the early 1940s, archaeologists uncovered a civilization known as the Olmecs of 1200 BC, which predate any other advanced civilization of the Americas. Now, the Olmec civilization, which was of African origin and dominated by Africans, was the first significant civilization in Mesoamerica and the mother culture of Mexico. Bam. You see that? Okay. Now let's go over here. Let's dig into these Olmecs just a little bit. Let's touch on them. In the source we got over here called Africans Discovered America for 1,000 Years. You can Google these sources, man. You know what I'm saying? Get this information, piece together these puzzles. It says right here, according to the studies and research conducted by Clyde Winters, the Olmecs were Africans from the Mandinka region of the West Africa. So they were Africans from the Mandinka region of West Africa. They used Mende script to write, and they spoke in Mende language, the same language spoken by Kinkwe in the movie Amistad. Okay, so you got these Olmecs. They were Africans from the Mandinka region, peoples of West Africa. Now let's read a little bit on these people. On Wikipedia here it says the Mandinka, also known as Mandinka, Mandinko, Mandinga, Malinke. Now remember them names because those names are gonna play a key part soon. It says it's a Western African civilization. Oh, I'm sorry, West African ethnic group. Excuse me, a West African ethnic group. Right here, bam. They are the descendants of the Mali Empire. You see that? So you got West African, the Mandinka people, who are the descendants of the Malayan Empire, who are also the Olmecs, the first civilization, advanced civilization in the Americas. Remember, we just read about in the 1300s, the king of Mali sailing over here. Okay, now let's jump a little bit. We're gonna go over here and real little on Christopher Columbus and his voyages to the America. Now you can Google you know what I'm saying, Christopher Columbus voyages, you know what I'm saying, and read about his different voyages he had, as well as, you know, the one where he came to the Americas, but he had others prior to that. And you know what I'm saying, just dig, man, you know what I'm saying, and eat the meat, you know what I'm saying, spit out the bone, you know what to do. But right here we read this one is it's called The Four Explorations of Christopher Columbus. Right here it says Christopher Columbus was born in Genoa, Italy in 1451. So this is the 1400s, the 1450s. Okay, let's jump down a little bit. It says he was engaged as a sugar buyer in the Portuguese islands off the coast of West Africa. Portugal has set up these sugarcane plantations and other little trading ports off the coast of West Africa. So it said he engaged as a sugar buyer in the Portuguese islands off the coast of West Africa by a Genoese mercantile firm, so a firm from his homeland. And it says in West Africa he met pilots and navigators who believed in the existence of islands further west. Now, why would these people believe in the islands further west? These sorry about that. These West Africans, why would they do that? Because remember, they were advanced in keeping their records, writing their records, and they had already been here. Remember, this is the 1400s we talking about. The Malayan king sailed over to the Americas in what? In 1311, right? So these people knew that they had already went over there. That's the reason why it says, thus Columbus was one of many who believed one could reach the land by sailing west. Right, learning from these pilots and these navigators in West Africa, you know what I'm saying, who told them, hey, you know what I'm saying, we've been here. So so when we understand that, let's jump back to this. Is said that these people were the Olmecs, the Mandinka, or the Inca, but it also states that when most people think about the first civilization that come to mind are the Incas, you get the Incas. Okay, let's dig into the Incas a little bit, because you got to understand these Incas are the same people. Your Incas, as the brother Horace Butler put out, are your Mandinka. Remember, I told you the Mandinkas, are a subgroup of the Mende. You feel what I'm saying? They are a subgroup of the Mende, and they are descendants of the Malayan Empire, this West African Empire. These are your Mende Incas. You see what I'm saying? These are the same people. These are your Incas. You know what I'm saying? I was searching, I was researching, I was looking, I was like, well, I wonder what does Inca mean? You know what I'm saying? I really didn't get, too far into anything, but I got just this right here. Now check this out. It says, okay, Inca. A member of a South American Indian people living in the Central Andes before the Spanish conquest. Okay. But it also says right here, a South American hummingbird having mainly blackish or bronze-colored plumage. What? So they named these people in South American off a bird that was over there that was blackish or bronze. Why? Maybe the people was blackish or bronze. You feel me? But these are your people. These are your Mandinka, your Inca, your Mande Incas. You see what I'm saying? Your blackish bronze remnants of the southern kingdom that fled into West Africa and set up these Malayan, Ghanaian, Songhai empires, if you will. So, excuse me. See, bear with me, rock with me. These were these people who set up this kingdom in Cusco, Peru. You see what I'm saying? You got the Incan history, the kingdom of Cusco in the Incan Empire. Now, the kingdom of Cusco was the ancient city that these people had set up, that this remnant of the southern kingdom had set up. It was the ancient city of Jerusalem, or Perusalem, or Perusalem. You see, in Cusco, Peru, and they had built the temple at the north gate, right? Which is the what? What's at the north gate of? We got Machu Picchu. We got the old peak, old mountain. Let's see if we can pull up. Let's see if we can pull up a little link that'll take us to Machu Picchu. Oh, I know it's in your stuff. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Bam. So, we got Machu Picchu. It is situated on a mountain ridge above the Sacred Valley, which is 80 kilometers northwest of Cusco. So remember, Cusco now is a mountainous city. Jerusalem is a city surrounded by mountains with the temple at the north gate, right? So when you understand the connection between this ancient Malayan empire, who is the remnant of the southern kingdom of Israel that came into the Americas and also set up that same city, that same southern kingdom city of Jerusalem right here in Machu Picchu or Cusco, Peru. It is the same southern kingdom Israelite city, because up you had the, okay, further north you got Tenochtitlan and Teotihuacan. You have the ancient Egyptian cities there. You know what I'm saying? See, I want y'all to keep one thing in mind. See, in the Torah, it commands the Israelites to give the soil a rest, right? Give the soil a Shabbat. You know what I'm saying? When you understand that, it's because the microorganisms and the bacteria in the soil have to regrow and reneutralize the soil. You know what I'm saying? Renutrientize the soil, excuse me. And you know what I'm saying? And if you continue to grow produce and improperly rotate your crops, you will drain that soil and you will basically deplete it, and it'll become useless. So we were commanded to give the soil a Shabbat, a rest. Now we know that the Israelites were notorious for breaking the commandments, right? And based upon how much we violated this particular law, it would have caused us to have to go out and search for new fertile land now. You see what I'm saying? Because remember, right here in this article, we're reading about in 1311 when the king Abu Bakari of the Malayan Empire came over. What he came over? He came over with 200 ships of just trade material, crops, animals, cloth, and crucial African knowledge. You know what I'm saying? But he came over here with crops. You know what I'm saying? They came over here with the materials to set up a new civilization to live. You feel what I'm saying? A new civilization to produce and continue, you know what I'm saying, and continue going. You feel what I'm saying? See, when a people move, you see what I'm saying, the customs, the land, that comes with them. You see what I'm saying? If the Egyptians over here, and this is Egypt, if they move over here, then that's Egypt. You feel what I'm saying? So the same thing, if you have these remnant of the southern kingdom of Israel, they move into these lands, you know what I'm saying, they carried the same customs with them, and they built that city. Because you got to understand, at the falling of Jerusalem in 70 AD, excuse me, was the starting of the 2,000-year destruction. The Most High said he would bring us down in 2 days and rise us in the third. You see what I'm saying? The 2 days didn't just start and end right at the beginning. The 2 days is a stretch of the entire fall, which leads us to think, you know what I'm saying, question, when was the temple really set? When did it end? What was their motives? They said they came over here to seize the temple of Jerusalem. It was over here. You feel what I'm saying? When was the destruction really ended? That's the question, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to bring that to the people. You know what I'm saying? I got a part 2 coming up because I'm running out of time. Y'all stay with me. Peace and love, family.